How's everybody doing today? My name is Storm Powell, and I am here to continue up on my school day series. Now, I've already done two videos in the past, one for elementary school and one for middle school, and now I'm going to have an individual video for each of my high school years. Now, this one is going to be about my freshman year of high school, my ninth grade year, and a decent little bit happened, but I would say sophomore and junior year are going to be probably the most interesting ones by far of this little part, but yeah, so anyway, basically, what happened my freshman year was, I remember I started taking drama class, which was something that I had been looking forward to ever since third grade. I had just really wanted to get into that, and I was so glad to be able to take it. I was taking it my first semester of my freshman year, and I was also taking advanced algebra 1 or something, and advanced English 1. I was in pretty well all advanced classes. It was something like that. And the English teacher is the drama teacher here at school, and I had English third block and drama fourth block, and the drama teacher is a nice old lady, not old, but you know, old. And she's really flighty. She's a character, and one thing that kind of sucked about her class was she would always mention things that happened in drama class in front of the English class. So if I did a really embarrassing role that I don't want my other peers to know about, she would be damn sure to let them know the next day. But, you know, that's just kind of aside the point. That's just a joke, kind of. But freshman year was kind of big for me because I started to, I guess, not be so good academic, and I didn't really say a whole lot, but in my elementary and to a lesser extent middle school years, I was one of the brightest kids in my grade. No joke. I'm not even trying to toot my own horn or brag on myself, but I was very academically gifted, I guess, and I think it was because I tried a lot harder. But, you know, as high school came in, even though high school is probably, you know, the most influential 4 years of your academic life, I stopped giving as much of a shit, honestly. And I kind of cared more about friends and everything, and I just didn't care as much. But English was something I've always been pretty good at. It's by far my best academic subject, so I kind of liked that. But Algebra 1 that I was taking was not very good. I'm not that great at math, and I was probably in the bottom 5 of that class for the most part, especially after a few kids dropped out of it because it was too hard for them being in the advanced class. But I had this teacher that I would probably say is my favorite teacher of all time for some of the stuff that he did. He was a rather large fellow. He was pretty old, and he talked like this all the time, real monotone, and he would just have kind of a twang in his voice, and he'd talk like this, and he'd say the damnedest things. He would say phrases like, you know, well, by the same token, and just, you get how he talks, and that's actually almost exactly how he sounds. People tell me that I do a spot-on impression of him, but anyway, so basically what happened with him was he became one of my favorite teachers because he seemed like he gave more shits than any teacher ever, and he was willing to stay after school with you for 2 hours if that's what you needed, to have extra time and support and all that stuff. I remember one day in the second semester in Algebra 2, Wyatt, myself, and Jesse, not the Jesse from kindergarten, but a different Jesse, different story and all that stuff, we stayed after school for 2 hours to retake a test because we didn't do so hot on it. And, you know, he was just a really cool guy, and I liked the way that he teached, you know, taught. Is teached even a word? I'm stupid. Okay, anyway. And I just really liked how he did everything, and even though I didn't much care for his voice and all that stuff, the way that he taught really was pretty cool. And just some of the things he would say, like, I remember one time, I made a 98 on a test, and this one guy, Kevin, who is a lot smarter than I am, he would usually pick on me, just, you know, friendly banter and all that stuff whenever I would do bad on a test. He actually got like a 93 on it, and then he told the teacher, he was like, he was just joking, of course, but he was like, I'm pretty sure Darren cheated. And then the teacher walks up to me, and just some of the stuff that he said, this really doesn't lead up to anything, but he was just, now Darren, you do know what happens to people who cheat and lie, don't you? And I was just like, yes, sir. And he was like, you know, Hitler and Saddam would have fun with a little white boy like you. And I was like, did he just tell me that I'm going to hell? I was like, I think he just told me I'm going to hell. And it was just hilarious. And, but yeah, anyway, he became my favorite teacher. At the end of the school year in Algebra 2, we were sitting there in his class, and randomly the intercom comes on into his class, and they were, talking to him, and he was like, yes, and then they were like, your pizza, donuts, and soda have arrived. Or no, it was just your pizza and donuts have arrived. And we just busted out laughing because he's a big guy, like I said, and it was just funny, just hearing the secretary of the school tell him your pizza and donuts have arrived. And we just busted out laughing, and then he just kind of sighed and rolled his eyes, and he was like, okay, and then the intercom turns off, and he was like, well, I was going to tell you all this later on, but I ordered you all some pizza and donuts to have for lunch today. And we were all like, wow, this guy's a cool motherfucker. And then just some of the stuff he said, he was like, now I know what you may be thinking. What am I going to drink with all this soda and donuts? Well, I got you covered, he said as he pulled out a bag of quarters out of his pocket, and he gave all of us $1 to go buy a Coke out of the vending machines. Coolest motherfucking teacher ever. Like, I don't know, it's just stuff like that made me really like him, and you guys will hear a little bit more about him in my sophomore and junior videos, actually, even though he wasn't teaching me at all at those points. You guys will hear a little bit more about him later on, but nonetheless, so yeah, basically, he was a really cool teacher, and, drama class went really well. We did a few plays. I only took it for that first semester, even though I could have taken Drama 2 in the second semester. I skipped out on it because I was a freshman and my sister was actually a senior, and I knew she was going to be taking drama, and I didn't want to have any classes with her, so I didn't take it. Instead, I took database because database was a class that I was told by the guidance counselor that I had to take because I wanted to take a class on web design as a trade school class, and they told me that I had to take a database class here at our school first before I could do that. And I absolutely hate the teacher that taught it. She was a chain smoker, so her voice was the most annoying voice ever. I swear, it was nails on chalkboards to me. And she was just so stupid with computers, not very tech literate at all. But yeah, she was teaching a class on it. I don't think I'll ever forget the day that I was sitting in her class, before the bell rang, waiting for the class to start a few minutes, and she was just sitting at her computer, and I hear her go, oh, shoot! And then I'm like, what? And she was like, she turns around, swear to God, what she asks. She looks at us, straight-faced. Is anyone in here good with computers? Motherfucker! You're the computer teacher. You're supposed to be good with fucking computers. And guess what she did? She just deleted a few pictures or something and wanted to know how to get them back. She didn't know how to use the goddamn recycle bin, but she was teaching us a class on Microsoft Access and Excel and everything, and just calm down, Darren, calm down. But yeah, I fucking hate that teacher for that reason, pretty much. She shouldn't, which I know computer teachers typically aren't that skilled in computers, because just about anyone can be a computer teacher. Same goes with being like a gym coach, but oh my God, I hated that teacher's guts. Just, ugh. And yeah, you guys will hear about her a little bit more in my sophomore and junior videos, of course. But, drama class went really well, and I met a few people there. I got a few new friendships and everything, rekindled some friendships that, I still have now. Things went pretty well. We did a play called Big Bad, which was like a play about like a lot of fairy tale characters coming together or something to sue the big bad wolf, and I played as the boy who cried wolf, which was pretty cool. So I don't know, and we did that for the elementary school because that's what Drama 1 does, is they do a play for the elementary school. And in my sophomore video, you guys are going to hear a lot more about drama because that class was insane my sophomore year. Dear Jesus Christ me. But, things got pretty big for me in sophomore year for that. And I'm trying to think of anything else, like I said, by the time high school hit, I really stopped caring about making new friends quite as much. I was very content with the friends I had, and they're still some of my best friends ever. Me and Wyatt got really close that year. Jesse kind of got distanced from me a little bit because he didn't take advanced classes like Wyatt and I did, but Wyatt and I stayed really close. Jesse's still an amazing friend of mine. I talk to him a lot now. It's just Wyatt and Jesse are sort of the best friends. You know, I've got my own best friend now, but you know, it's just they've always been really close, and so that's why they're still close, even though they don't have a lot of classes. But that's just about all I can think of for that. You know, trying to think if there's anything else I missed my freshman year. I really don't think there was. I didn't do a whole lot in the ladies department because I kind of stopped caring that much about girls. I was like, if a girl ends up liking me and she's not that bad, then I'll go for it. But that's about it. You know, I wasn't going to chase after a girl. I was like, it's not worth my shit, you know, and all that stuff. And that's kind of what happened then. So, anyway, that is it for this video. Be sure to stay tuned for my sophomore video because that's where stuff is going to start getting a little bit crazy. Things that have happened in all of my other past videos are going to start really collecting and combining for this one. And that is about it. For now, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hope you have a nice day and goodbye!